Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Calderon Batalla. Today I am going to talk about one of the most important events in Mexican history, the Mexican Revolution. This revolution began in 1910 and lasted for about 10 years. It changed the future of our country in many ways. In this timeline, I will explain the main causes of the revolution, the most important events, the people who were involved, and how it impacted Mexican society. I will also share my personal opinion about why this revolution was so important for Mexico. Let's begin why the background and cause that led to historic conflict. Historical background and causes. The Mexican Revolution began in 1910 after more than 30 years of Porfirio Diaz rule. Altuhun is government promotion foreign investment and modernization. It mostly benefited the rich elite. The majority of the population, especially peasants and workers living in poverty, there was no real democracy. Diaz often manipulated elections that was concentrated in the hands of a few families, and indigenous communities were losing their territories. People were tired of unequal injustice and lack of opportunities. Candidates and Team Online. 1876 and 1911 Porfirio Díaz long presidency. November 20, 1910 Revolution official y begins White Maderos call out to arms. 1911 Diaz resigns and goes into exile. 19 Madero is assassinated. Victoriano Huerta takes power. 1940 and 1970 Civil War 17 revolutionary groups. 1970 New Constitution on Sovereignty. 1920 The Revolution ends with the rise of Álvaro Obregón. Main event. The revolution was not a single war, but a series of armed struggles involving different leaders with different goals. Francisco I. Madero started the revolution to restore democracy. Emiliano Zapata fought for land reform in the south. Pancho Villa led north force and demanded justice for workers. After Madero's wealth, several revolutionary leaders fought against H8 until the 1917 Constitution was established. The fall of Porfirio Diaz. After more than 30 years of authoritarian rule, Porfirio Diaz faced strong opposition in the 1910 election. Francisco I. Madero, a reformist politician, became a symbol of hope for democracy. However, Diaz had Madero arrested before the election and declared himself the winner. From exile, Madero published the Plan of San Luis Potosí, calling the Mexican people to rise up on November 20, 1910. This date marked the official beginning of the Mexican Revolution. In less than a year, revolutionary forces forced Diaz to resign. He went into exile in May 1911, ending the Porfiriato. This was the first major victory of the revolution and a turning point in Mexican history, showing that the people could fight against tyranny. The Betrayal and Civil War, 1930 and 1917. Although Madero became president in 1911, his government was unstable. Many powerful people did not support him in these reforms. In 1930, General Victoriano Huerta betrayed Madero, had him arrested and assassinated. This led to a violent civil war. Revolutionary leaders like Venustiano Carranza, Pancho Villa, and Emiliano Zapata refused to accept Huerta's dictatorship. Eight leaders had different goals. Carranza wanted constitutional order, Zapata forced for land reform, and Villa demanded justice for the posts. From 1930 to 1970, Mexico was formed apart by Blackstone's revolutionary groups. While Water's this period was marked by deep political conflict, but it also opened the way for real change and the creation of new political system. Key people involved. Porfirio Díaz, the long-time dictator, whose regime sparked the revolution. Francisco I. Madero, a reformist who wanted for election and democracy. Emiliano Zapata represented a peasants. His slogan was "Land and Liberty". Pancho Villa fought for justice in the north. Venustiano Carranza and Álvaro Obregón, political leaders who later helped write the new constitution and rebuild the country. Impact on Mexican society. The revolution completely changed Mexico's political and social structure. A new constitution was written in 1970, introducing land reform, labor strikes, and limits to presidential power. The legislature entered a more democratic system, established peasant and worker gained more rights, thus many changes remained. The revolution also created a strong sense Mexican identity and unity. Personal opinions. In my opinion, the Mexican Revolution was a necessary event in our story. Although it was violent and chaotic, it helped add a long period of injustice and opened the door to social progress. The voices of the poor and indigenous people were finally heard. I believe the revolution gave birth to modern Mexico and shows the world that change is possible, but more unity and resistance. Conclusion: The Mexican Revolution was a turning point in the story of our country. It marked the end of a long dictatorship and opened the path toward democracy, social justice, and national identity. Although it was a violent and complex process, the revolution brought lasting changes such as land reform, labor rights, and a new constitution that reflected the people's demands. Thanks to the efforts of revolutionary leaders and the voices of the oppressed, Mexico began to build a more equal society. Even today, the legacy of the revolution continues to shape our values and our commitment to justice and freedom.